Hello, everyone. Welcome to another lab. In this lab, we are going to configure DAC and external peripherals. Here is the scenario. An employee that work in the field has a laptop that their primary PC, but they would like an easy way to connect their laptop to their monitor and peripherals when they are in the office. You will install a USB-C dock in the office and connect all the peripheral to it. So the employee has to connect one one cable to their laptop. This is just the short instruction that have been given to us, which is very much to connect USB type dock to make the monitor connection. However, there's some tricky thing that you have to know in order to complete this lab. So the first thing is when to come to this lab. There's no instruction that actually tell you what type of lab mode that you have to work on in order to get grade. The main reason why you're doing this lab is to get grade. However, the tricky part is which one is the right in order to get the grade. So there is three options listed up here. As you see here, the tutorial one is like just like you go around and to understand and make your familiarize yourself with the environment. So that is just very much straightforward. However, between explore and assist mode, as you see here, the explore is said the explore mode is let you identify and play with device and port when within the lab. Okay, that's good. But if it when it comes to assist mode, it's say like assist mode show you the task within each step so you can learn how to complete the lab. But if you click here for information, assist mode is ungraded lab with guided task. Because of that word, because of this ungraded lab, a lot of students don't really try to do the lab with this because they try the other one and finally they say, you know what, I cannot able to complete this lab. That is one of the main reasons why I'm doing this lab to make sure you exactly get graded for this lab instead of you spending too much time on it. In order to get the grade, you have to do assist mode lab. So that's what we're going to do. So in assist mode lab, it doesn't really tell you do like that, but it's actually tell you what you're supposed to do step by step. So step one say connect monitor. That's the part that we have to do, but it's more specific. It's a using display port cable, connect the external monitor to universal DAC. Here's the another tricky thing in here. So this environment is not like any other lab environment that you have seen so far before this lab that you just drag and drop the part that you are going to do. Maybe you easily identify what is the DisplayPort cable from here. However, the way it works is not really like a drag and drop. Because of that, it's a little bit tricky. So the best way that you have to do is every time for every single question, just click on question mark. It doesn't reduce your point or it doesn't deduction your point. So don't worry about that. Once you click on that, it exactly tell you which part is that. So like it zooming out and then it will tell you show us the green mark as you just saw. So that second thing that you have to do is there's no way you can drag and drop. The only thing you need to know is to just click one time on the left mouse, not the right side, the left side. So you just click one time and it plugged by itself. Here you go. As you see, the first step, half of the first step is done. Next, it said connect the power cable to external monitor. You just do the same thing. You don't have to do anything. Just click on question mark. It exactly show you which is the cable that you have to plug in. Again, you don't need to drag and drop anything. Just click one time here. As you see here, it just plug it by itself. We are done with step one. Then move on step two. Locate USB keyboard and the mouse and connect them both to a universal DAC. So again, you just need to click there and then to make sure which one is which. Of course, you know this is keyboard. This is the DAC that they are talking about. So again, there's no way you can drag and drop. So the only thing is just click one time. Here you go. It's just done like that. For second step, you just need to do the same thing. Okay, just click a question mark. It show you which that is the month, and you just click on that. Here you go. It's plugging in. We are done with step two as well. Moving on to step three, locate the external cable, connect to the wall, and connect to the other end to universal DAC. You don't have to click question mark all the time if you don't want to, or if it's easy to identify the cable, but to just quick to make sure you easy to done to identify everything is really way better to just do that way. I prefer that way, and then you exactly see where it needs to be connected. Then we are done with step three, move on step four. So step four said plug in universal DAC power adapter to a power outlet and connect it to the dock. Do the same thing. This is also one of the easy one you can able to identify, but there's the other one which is really tricky. I want to show you that. Let's say plug in the universal DAC power adapter to the power outlet and connect it to the DAC. So that's where like here you can easy to identify this side, but the other side is really hard to identify, even if you just try beside the question, clicking on question mark. However, if you click on it, it'll pull it up for you, and this is the other end. Because if you do just without this, it's going to be behind the laptop and you cannot able to see this side. So you just click on that. Here you go. As you see that is plugged in. We are done with the step four. Moving on to step five. Using the USB-C cable, connect the universal DAC to laptop. So again, you can easy to know like exactly where it is. This is right here. Either you just click on this to make sure like it's more easy to see it, because if you just see the cable, you can't see the port on the laptop. That is why it's better to click on question and then just really zoom out for you to see for good visibility. So you just click one time and then it connected. Now we move on to locate the power button at the lower right corner of the monitor and press it to power the monitor on. Again, you can try to move this 3D environment like dragging and kind of, but it's easy to click the question mark and then it pull it up for yourself. That is really cool. And then you just press on the power and you move to step 7, which is say using the power button above the laptop keyboard, turn on laptop to ensure external monitor and peripheral work properly. Do the same thing, and you got here the power button, and then just click on that. As you see, it zoom it out everything, and as you see here, we can able to see both screen. Here is the other caution that you have to take. If you say task is complete, because as you see here, all the step is done. But if you say, oh, the task is complete, and then if you use a restart, very much that exactly tell you to restart everything. But hopefully you're not going to do that. But you might easy to do this one as well. Return to the menu, which means like it take you back to where we have been at the beginning, that you have to choose the type of mode. So which means very much exactly do the same thing, like redoing. So like if you restart, maybe you just still stay in here. But if you click on return to the menu, it completely take you out of this lab, and then you have to redo it, choose the type of mode, is either assistance or tutorial. Never do that. So what you need to do is to go to the questions where it's the answer question, because this task is not only just follow the step, but you have to answer the question as well. So that's where you have to go. So as you see here, the first question is say which of the following port type is not proficient on that. Very much the question is which of the following that you wasn't connected during this step or process. So we did HDMI, which is the part of display port, and RJ45 we did for internet display port, the first one that we connect to monitor and docking station. USB for a keyboard, mouse, all that is USB. Power for the docking station itself, for monitor itself, we did all that. Very much VGA, the one we haven't done in here. The other question number 2 is say which wireless interface could be used to connect peripheral input device to laptop if a dock is not available. The first choice is near field communication, Wi-Fi, port replicator, internet, Bluetooth. Which one do you think? Very much straightforward. It's Bluetooth. Even though all these are the wireless way of connecting, but most of the device actually used for peripheral device input is very much use Bluetooth. I think that's really easy to do it. Enter a single word. Question number 3, enter a single word to identify the last step in process of configuring the DAC and external peripheral. This is a little bit tricky because if you don't really pay attention, there's no way you're going to get this answer easily. So the part that you have to pay attention is, let's say, the last step. So which means you have to focus on the step 7. That's the last one. Then you have to look for the single word to identify the last step in process of configuring the DAC and external peripheral. So I think the first word that came to my mind was validation. So like when I put there and it's not going to work, but the short answer is test. Because as you see here, it's a test the dock. So every time you connect something, you have to test it. I think that's the best practice. This dock could be used to attach a drawing pad to support a creation of digital art file. Why not? This dock can able to connect any type of external device or peripheral device that we can able to directly communicate to the computer. So because of that, we can able to do that. And then we say, yes, that's true. All right, so we have been done. We're done with all the questions. So let's try if that all answer is correct. All right, so as you see here, all answer is correct. And then we score 100%. The only thing left for you to score your lab and you good to go. Thank you for watching. See you in next lab.